Shabbat Shalom, Sabbath peace, Shalom Laha Alahayim, peace to the God. Nawathan, Kal, Halalimla, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Sa Hakodash, giving all praises to Yahweh. In the name Yahweh Shai, in the name of the Holy Spirit, double honors unto the elder apostles, the elder bishops, and the heads and elders of all the camps of Great Millstone GMS who do well. Peace and blessings to the tabernacle of David, those predestined spirits of election scattered abroad, storming with the governing body. In the kingdom to come, the 144,000, 12,000 men from each tribe of Israel, the prophets, as well as the innumerable multitude scattered abroad. It's your brother Tazapanya of the Great Millstone, Washington, D.C. camp, Padawan Ratazak. This in transit, thinking out loud, Watchmen series is hopeful into the elect. Is edifying, I said hopeful. Edifying to the elect, the hopeful elect. It's lucky. So was doing my, my instead of death scrolling, I'm gonna call it doomsday scrolling. How about that? Because they like to say when you just doing this for 20 minutes straight on TikTok or Instagram or whatever, just looking at a bunch of death scrolling. But I'll be doing that, but I'm gonna call it doomsday scrolling because I'm looking for things in pursuant to doomsday. Which doom, when you do the etymology, it means law. So the day of the law that is going to be established, you know. So when I see this, or I think, on that Rap House TV or whatever, um, so they're saying that flights, lines, all types of things is going to be delayed with airports and even to the potential airspace being shut down. So that means that they're not going to have air traffic controllers, you know, basically people to monitor certain places in the sky that is above Babylon the Great, which is America pursuing prophecy. So when I was thinking about this, I was like, okay, that could obviously you don't want to be flying right now. Because there ain't nobody to really keep you safe, so to speak, even though our safety comes from the Lord. But I was thinking about the commercial flights. You know, how else do you think your DHL, FedEx, UPS, USPS, right, Amazon, these carriers, get you your packages on time on the trucks? It comes through plane, and if certain airspace is cut off, other routes have to be rerouted, which would cause more gasoline, diesel, whatever it may be, to get you your product. And if it costs more for the company, it's going to cost more for the customer. So prices is going up. And as prices is going up, the decline of America is going down. Okay? And we've seen it in our face, man. Babylon is circling the drain, CTD. All right? And we are seeing it at an astronomical level, man. I was reading or thinking about the scripture in Isaiah 19. I want to say it's verse 2, but that the spirit of Egypt shall fail. You know, and what is the spirit of Egypt? You know, when you go into the scriptures, you constantly see oppression and bondage and slavery and captivity in regards to Egypt. You know, I forgot who I was listening to, but it made sense because the Israelites is really what made Egypt great. And it's the same thing here in Babylon the Great. The so-called Negro, Latino, Native American is what made America so great. But using them for basically free labor or slave labor. And then you got to remember back then, when them famines hit, the only places that had food was Kemet, or what the Greeks called, you know, Aegyptos, or Egypt, all right, which is really Montezaria, okay? And during that time, and especially when Joseph was second in command, all right, because of people selling themselves and giving all of their wealth unto the Egyptian empire, that is what made Egypt such a vast empire because of the slaves, man. And this is where the understanding, the esoteric understanding of the pyramid, with the masses, the most of the work is at the bottom, and then the people at the top is completely separated. The cap is completely separated from the pyramid, but yet they control everything down. This is where we get the term pyramid scheme. The people that introduce the business first and who is at the top is making money off of those who is coming in later, as the people at the top are promising the people that come in after them that they can somehow be in a position that they are in, which is completely false. So the spirit of Egypt in regards to slavery is going to fit. This is why, if I'm not mistaken, the same chapter, it talks about how there's not going to be any work for Egypt, that neither the branch nor rush, the head or tail may do, roughly paraphrasing. All right, when you mix in artificial intelligence with the new orchestrated economic collapse that's supposed to be coming in, there's going to be a period of time where all shit stops. Ecclesiastes 12 talks about that the grinding shall cease. And things don't cease abruptly. It takes a time, but when it do stop, all hell gonna break loose. So seeing that, like, damn, okay, partial airspace could, because these type of things is going to affect the finances of the everyday citizen very greatly. And as we're going into November, a lot of, Akim been saying, and alternative media, sources, basically to keep your eyes out on these last 2 months of 2025, the hopeful year of our deliverance and the destruction and judgments on Esau, man. So 2026 is going to be a hell of a year, man. And I'm in the same spirit that Elder Pastor Harv is in regards to, I feel like they're going to really start to push this chip, this B system, and that technology, man. In regards to the digital currency, digital ID, everything being digital. So, Lord willing, this shutdown lasts as long as it can be. Eventually, they'll bring it back on. But I think tomorrow is going to be the record for the longest shutdown ever. And we have been constantly in unprecedented times. We hear that constantly, which means it never happened before. It's unprecedented. There is no pretense, you see what I'm saying, of record to show that this is that you can go back to try to get an example. Um, there is none. You know, so Shalakia, man, I wasn't yawning, and then all of a sudden, as soon as I put it on, press the button, I start yawning, saying tired too. But yeah, man. So you know, we looking for a complete shutdown of this wicked ass government, because the government that we looking for is the one that is on the shoulders of Yahweh Shai. Because in Isaiah, I think it's chapter 9. All right, it talks about how the government shall be on his shoulders, which essentially is the throne of David, man. Because that's what's coming. And not to make this on a tangent, but it's like these wacky tacky plantation Renaissance anti-Christians have no understanding of what heaven is, man. It is the throne of David being established, and Elder Yashawamba is constantly pushing it. You know what? Okay, yeah, Babylon's gonna be destroyed. Yahweh Shai, who y'all call Jesus Christ, is coming back, even though he's not coming back the way y'all think he's coming back, or looking the way y'all portrayed him as. But then what? Then what happens? There's going to be a righteous order to be established on earth and pushed by the men that the Lord sets up to be the executioners, all right, of that law, the judges of that law, you know, because the law will be established. The law is perfect. So in order for one to push that law, they themselves have to be perfect, which can only come via new bodies with the law downloaded in it, aka the new covenant. That was a bunch of chemtrails in the sky for some reason. Haven't seen them in a while. They back. But yeah, so this place, the scriptures talk about how the worms are set up under thee, roughly paraphrasing, going into the infrastructure, the corruption, the corrosion of America, potholes everywhere, you know. But also, if you want to talk about it on a spiritual sense, because in Job it says, for wisdom there is double unto that which is, the corruption or corrosion of that is under them, or their foundation. And what is the foundation of Egypt? You know, bondage. It's being destroyed. So the infrastructure of how this place is set up to put everybody, because what they're going to do is trying to get everybody enslaved, a digital slavery, a put you in a prison planet, put you in the cloud on the blockchain. Is a reason why they call it chain. And in prison, they call certain wings of the building blocks, you know, D block, C block, in jail and shit like that, you know. So we are definitely witnessing the more corruption of this place. Remember, James 5, it talks about that their riches are corrupted. You see, because that's the foundation of this thing. Remember, the original stocks and bonds was you livestock and bondsmen and bondswomen, because you was likened unto cattle. In French, that's chattel, where we get the word chattel slavery. Because Esau would like to bring up, well, everybody put somebody in slavery. Yeah, but every slavery wasn't chattel slavery, man. All right, so we was the only ones during the transatlantic slave trade to look like um subhuman, less than human. And because of that, through your pseudoscience and eugenics and everything else, you move the way you did with savagery, but not even just because of that, just because of who you are. Esau Edom, you don't hate blood, and that's why blood is going to pursue thee. Soon in the book of Ezekiel. But yeah, man, so I'm gonna pretty much leave it there, getting to my destination. But we coming into some different times, man. This thing is It's very perilous, as it says. This how you know we in the last days. You know, we every day, like in the spirit of Apostle Recall, man, you gotta pray, man. You don't know what's in. You about to leave the crib. You about to get in your car. You about to go here, go there. You don't know what can go down, go on, who could do what. You know, the love of many is wax cold, man. So they don't care about what you got going on. But we are of the hopeful elect, and you have to have that belief that the Lord is going to take care of you, and He recognizes the labors of love that you do, man. You know. So I'm gonna leave it at that, man. Lord willing, I was edifying to the elect. With that, I'm gonna say Brakata Yahweh, Brakata Yahweh Shai, call her Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Kakwadash, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai Brakatham, Bashem Kakwadash to all tuning in. Call Akim Wa Akwath. On to the next one. Shalom.